Assalamu alaikum dear students. Today we are going to discuss about identify and use previously learned and more formulaic expression, routine, social courtesies, greeting expressions and communicative functions accordingly to the age, gender and status of the addressee. Another important topic that need to discuss in this lesson is the change in the number of regular and irregular nouns. And the last one we will discuss inshallah the pronouns and practice diphthongs as they occur in practice items and sentences in reading lessons and in speech. Let's move on with the first topic, that is the listening and speaking. Listen students, for this you need to develop your speaking and listening skills to be more enhanced in a way like we need how to communicate with others. To communicate with others, you need to obviously have some kind of greeting to someone else. For example, in your book, see page number 18. There is a number of dialogues are available. You just need to put the accurate, as you can see on the concept board. There are the words that you need to put the accurate according to the situation and according to the dialogue. For example, there is a picture you can see on the board that is someone is saying Assalamu alaikum. So another conversation, the other boy in a speech bubble, you need to write it Wa alaikum assalam. Another picture, you can see that a child is saying, how are you? You need to pick obviously in response to that, another child say, I'm fine, thank you. Now, and you can see that on page number 18, there is another picture. That is, can I borrow your pencil please? What's your answer? Yes, you can. So these are kinds of students have some practices of daily speech and dialogues and using how to use these words to communicate or to conversate with others. So these are the you may need to practice these kinds of dialogues in daily lives and you must use it when you obviously conversate with others. Let's move on to the next one. That is very important topic. These are called the regular nouns and irregular nouns. For this, we need to understand what are these and then we need to differentiate between these two. First, regular nouns that form plurals by adding either an S or ES. S or ES हम कब use करते हैं? Plural form के साथ. To the end. S or ES का use होता है at the end of the word. That is called a regular noun. आपके सामने examples हैं, that is chocolates, trees, cakes. We use S and ES at the end. These are called regular nouns. Now move on to the irregular nouns. Irregular nouns are those that do not follow any particular pattern to form their plurals. For example, like goose, geese. For example, ox, oxen. For example, child, children. Did you see any kind of SES here? No. But these are the plural forms. Geese, oxen, children. What are these? These are the plural forms. But there is no addition of S and ES at the end of these words. So these are called irregular nouns. In regular nouns, we use S and ES at the end. But in irregular nouns, we don't use S and ES. We just need to use the plural forms to make the word plural. You may have to look on a page number that is on 19. So here what you need to do is use these examples and please try to encourage yourself to use these kinds of words in your daily use. Now what's come up? Next one is the phonics. That is the another important topic of this lesson. Children, we already have discussed about vowels and we discussed about phonics, syllables, consonants. We discussed a lot about it. Now there is another new thing I hope you will find so interesting. That's called diphthongs. Diphthongs. What are diphthongs? Diphthongs have a double vowel sound. Double vowel sound. It's a combination of two vowel sounds or letters in a single syllable. In a single syllable, two vowels are in a form of a sound like a one. For example, here you can see pain. In this you can see that, students, pain, in which I and A, what? Combine two vowel sounds or letters in a single, pain. Like a one word, a one sound is representing in these the combination by the combination of two vowels. Which two vowels? A and I. Next, move on to the coil. Coil. That is O and I. What are the vowels here? O and I. So, O and I makes a sound of a combination of one sound to in a single word, which is this coil. Now, move on to now. Now. That is called O and W. Now. That is called a two words gives a meaning of one, sounds like one in a single syllable. So these are called diphthongs. What are these called? These are called diphthongs. Yes. So here today, learners, what we have to do, what we have learned is that about the listening and speaking skills. We need to develop how we can use these listening and speaking words, like for example, how to greet someone, how to ask someone, how to get the permission from someone else, and how to say the obviously response in the form of greeting. For example, if someone says Assalamu alaikum, how you can respond in the return. Now, another we discussed about regular nouns and irregular nouns. Now we are able to distinguish between irregular and regular nouns. Regular nouns, obviously, that comes the ending word with S or ES. Don't forget. And another irregular nouns in which we do not use a regular pattern and we just use a plural form. Here is in front of you a lot of examples written here. Now at the end we discussed about diphthongs. Diphthongs in which we use double vowel sound that makes one single sound. We already have discussed about some examples, pain, coil and now. So listen, today we have learned about these things and how you can use these words. Diphthongs are used a lot in writing, in speaking. For example, in phonics, we used a lot diphthongs. So here is the total lesson about these three learning outcomes that we have we get it at the end of this lesson. I hope you learned a lot and you may find good information from this. If you find any kind of difficulty, students, you must consult your teacher or your parent for his. Thank you very much.